Well, hello there, Mr. Brian B.
Hey, nice to see you.
Likewise, love the funky background there.
I had to go indoors today. Normally I go outside,
Uh-huh.
but it's kind of loud out there, and I thought, I don't know when the dogs are going to start barking and the neighbors will scream, so I decided to bring it into them.
Right. Very nice.
How are you doing?
Oh, I just had a wonderful dinner that my wife made for me. Had I don't know, I guess you would call them basically like having tacos without the taco shell, so kind of like keto
Okay,
kind of stuff.
okay, sounds
But
good.
yeah, really tasty. Very, very good. And I see that Steve has joined us here. He's hasn't quite got the video turned on, but if you're listening, Steve, hey. I don't know if you can see Brian, but I'm wearing my
I can.
OMD red frame white light shirt.
That's pretty nice.
Shout out to all the OMD fans out there.
Heck yeah, I'm glad we could make Darren jealous if he wasn't in Vegas with us.
Yeah, right.
Not that I would want to rub it in,
Right.
just a little bit.
Just a tiny, tiny bit. So is the weather still pretty good out there where you're at?
It was hot today. It was about 88 today.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's supposed to cool off into the 70s and high 60s next week, but today it's just not my thing. I'm still wearing my hoodie, so I guess it didn't kill me.
Yeah.
It's
I
always hoodie weather in here for me.
There you go. So I think we hit we had to come pretty close to 70 today here in Utah. Really bright sunny day, just kind of like a perfect Sunday weather to, be
It's
outdoors
nice.
for a little while at least, and managed to get outdoors for about 20 minutes. So,
Did it melt the snow away?
well, down here in the valley where I'm at, the snow is all gone, but up in the mountains and up on the benches, as we call them, kind of up,
Hmm.
halfway up the mountains, there's still snow up there towards the top of them. But yeah, this last week on I think it was Wednesday and Thursday, it snowed.
Yeah.
Kind of
Oh, wow.
kind of crazy. So
I still don't know what that is.
yeah, it's
It's very
something you get
foreign to me.
something you get kind of used to living here in Utah. So the state's tagline is the greatest snow on earth because of all the ski resorts we have here.
Yeah.
And I come from New York where we had the 1980 Winter Olympics in Lake Placid, so
Yeah.
I'm no stranger to snow. And but believe it or not, I have never ever been skiing the entire time I've lived in Utah.
Wow.
I've been snowboarding and I like to snowboard, but
Okay.
I've never to this day I still don't know how to ski. So it's just kind of one of those
I mean,
crazy
I've
things about living in Utah. It's like the worst thing you can be living in Utah is either you can't ski or you're not Mormon. And
mhm.
so I'm like, you know, I'm almost both of them. So
You're on somebody's list somewhere.
that's right. That's right.
Of
Big
course,
shout
he's by
out.
the pool.
Yeah, right. There you go, Steve. Looking good.
Hey there, guys. Sorry, I'm just
Hey,
finishing up
everybody.
dinner.
Yeah,
How's everybody doing?
doing
Good.
well.
Hello from
Great.
Vancouver.
Hey, Keith, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Keith.
Good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Good to see you. Shout out there to Edgar. I see you there. And May, how are you doing? Hope all is well there in the great state of Texas.
I think this is a.
Yep. And Edgar, you're not as much of a force ghost today.
Yeah, I try to tone down the blue a bit. Put it on my shirt.
There you go. There you go. Looks good. So before we get started, I just have to ask: are any of you? I know that some of you on here are fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff, but have any of you been watching this Falcon and Winter Soldier series that's on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
I'm rather enjoying it.
I'm-
I finally got caught up yesterday. Yep.
And what do you enjoy it?
Um, it was kind of slow going for me at first, but I think these last two episodes, really kind of enjoying it, and kind of like where it's leading up to. I'm still secretly hoping that at one point the real Captain America was going to show up and bitch slap the the fake Captain America or the wannabe. That's
would be
just me.
incredible.
Yeah. Now, does Adam know we are doing this tonight? Right.
I sent him several reminders, and he just messaged me saying he's trying to connect.
Okay.
And so which meant I told him we're all waiting for you.
Because if he's going out for tacos, I want him to pick me some up. So
It's very possible he could be out on the road somewhere.
Right on.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Right on. By the way, absolutely, just have to say once again, I loved that cover of "Cuts You Up" that you guys did. Love that.
Thank you very much.
You
Glad you liked it. It was fun and hard, but Adam threw that idea out. Hey, let's do "Cuts You Up." I said sure.
Yeah.
And then we did.
Yeah, you guys definitely knocked that one out of the park. You really did a great job on it.
Thank you very much. It's got some danciness to it.
Yeah.
We like.
Yep. Always a good thing. And I see Valerie's here. Hello, Valerie. Good to see you. I think we've got you on mute right now, but thank you so much for joining us today, Valerie.
You're welcome. I finally got away.
There you go.
I got to catch up and watch the others now.
Right on. Love the octopus. That's great.
Thanks. It's my favorite piece.
So, okay, everybody knows that I'm a bunnies guy. Are you like that into octopuses the same way I'm into bunnies? Like that's
possibly.
There you go.
I just like the shape of them. I like spider webs too.
Do you? Okay.
Not spiders so much, but the webs.
Right on. Cool. Well,
I swear he's coming. He's gonna show up.
Darren, I see Darren's on here. And of course, where else would he be but poolside?
Oh.
What are we going to do with you?
Well, I'm going to be on mute most of the time today, so the dogs can squeak away. I don't have to worry about bothering everyone.
All righty.
How hot is it down there, Darren?
What is it today, Brian? Like upper 70s? It's pretty warm today. It was windy.
It's warmer in the valley. It was like 88 today up here.
Oh, it's 77 here in Washington. Well, in my area.
That's pretty warm.
It is.
Let's see. I'll tell you right now, it is 78 right now where I live. So not too bad. It's a nice cool breeze this evening. So
yeah, that's a good evening temperature.
Yeah.
It's 24 in Vancouver, but that's Celsius. So,
is that Celsius?
Awesome. Yeah. We were swimming in the ocean today. It was fantastic.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right on.
Sorry, guys. I had to log in through my phone. My computer's not logging me in.
No worries, sir. All righty. Well, Adam's here, and we got a good crowd so far. We got Mars Ramos is checking in right now. So a big hello to everybody that's joining us, or as I would say on my radio show, hey. Hope you're all doing well. One thing I'll ask as we get started is if I could have everybody except for Adam and Brian B put themselves on mute so that we can get started here. And then once I conclude the interview, we'll open up the floor to any questions or comments that you can ask of either myself, Adam, Brian, or even to talk amongst yourselves, do a little coffee talk here and talk amongst yourselves, So with that, everybody, welcome to this very special third edition of the Soul of Synth-Pop Zoom Spotlight Series, where today I'm welcoming special guests Brian Belknap and Adam Collier, better known as BlakLight. And it's a true honor and privilege for me to welcome them here today. And they've been around for about a year now or so that they've been going. And we're going to do a little bit of introductions here to get started. And I always start off just telling everybody a little bit about myself for those who don't know me, who will be watching this on YouTube later or after the fact. My name is Jim Kelgard, and that's Jim with 2 M's, 1, 2, count them. Yep, baby, that is moi. And I run a weekly internet radio show called The Soul of Synth-Pop on Radio Plus Israel every Sunday. And synth-pop is kind of my thing. It's my greatest passion. Synthesizers and synth-pop, synthwave, all that kind of stuff is just really kind of where my heart is. And I love the music. I love the people who make it. And my show is a combination of I play classic tracks from the legacy artists that made the genre famous, and I also play modern day indie synth pop artists that will be the legacy artists of tomorrow, which I firmly believe that. And other things about me, I was born and raised in New York, so I'm a native born New Yorker, I guess you could say. After having lived in Utah for about 26, 27 years, I have learned to ditch my New York accent. But anytime I'm talking with my family or watching a Raiders game or anything like that, get me really excited, and you'll hear that New York accent come back big and strong. But I do currently live and have lived in the Bountiful, Utah area with my wife and 3 kids, and I am a professional audio engineer, music producer, and I also have my own original music project that some of you may know. It's called Eminent Soul. Been doing that for about 7 or 8 years now. And in Eminent Soul, I play synthesizers, and regrettably, I'm also the lead singer. There's a lot better singers out there than me. But as I said earlier, I'm a huge fan of synth pop. Love synthesizers, and that's just kind of what my deal is. And so with the Zoom Spotlight series, what I do is I invite artists and producers and just people that are involved in the synth pop scene on a worldwide basis to come in and talk to us and tell us a little bit about what they do, so we can get to know them better. And sometimes we just get together and talk about our favorite albums, what the current news may happen to be in the realm of synth pop. And just kind of the whole philosophy is to bring people together that love synth pop, that love synth wave, that love the dark wave stuff as well, and just kind of bring the community together to where we can actually truly interact with one another instead of on a chat board or in Facebook on a live chat like we do during my radio show. This gives us an opportunity to actually interact with each other, of course, still virtually, but a great opportunity where we can actually see each other and make a true connection. And that whole philosophy that I have of a rising tide lifts all ships kind of thing. So tonight we are going to be learning about BlakLight, which is a band that I've been playing on my show consistently for about a year now. Really, really a big fan of their music, and they're based out of Southern California, and it's run by 2 gentlemen by the name of Brian and Adam. And with that, I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves right now. So I'll start off with Brian. And Brian, if you could just kind of do a quick intro, tell us, where you're from and, details, that you'd like to share with us there. And we'll get started with you.
All right. Hello, Jim. Hello, everybody. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your evenings or mornings, whatever time it may be for you, to hang out with us tonight. We really appreciate it. Like Jim said, I'm Brian Belknap. I am originally from Los Angeles. I still live in Los Angeles in beautiful North Hollywood, California. I live here with my wife, Cindy, of 19 years. 19 years next week, actually.
Nice.
And my 2 kids, Jack, who is 12, and Rio, who is 9. And
Cool.
That's me.
Right on. Adam, how about you?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Orange, California, and moved out to Long Beach. I've been out here for about 20 years. I've been married to my wife, Mindy, for about 20 years. And we just got 2 new pups, and that's about it.
Fantastic. Right on. And did I think I saw a picture of those pups. Are they Y Mariners? Is that what they call them? Or?
Yeah, they're Weimaraners. We just lost our 10-year-old and got a couple of 8-week brothers.
That's awesome. Awesome. So, Brian, tell us just real quickly what got you into singing? Because you sing with Mind Machine, and you're the vocalist of BlakLight. So, what kind of got you headed down that road?
Yeah, I think I ended up getting into singing because no one else wanted to do it around me. I grew up, involved in like musical theater and stuff, not outside of school, but really inside of like school projects and stuff like that. And all throughout elementary and junior high, and then I got into high school and still into theater. And I had a friend named Dave who had a friend named Brian Olson. This was in 1989. We were 16. And Brian, Dave, and I all had kind of similar taste in music at the time. We were listening to K-Rock out here in Los Angeles. So we were into, Depeche Mode, The Cure, The Smiths, and all that kind of stuff. And Brian Olson had been recording music on his own for, I don't know, since he was a little toddler or something, with his Casio keyboard and his boombox. And he would create cassettes with, J cards and album titles, and it's all original songs. And he had 5 or 6 of these by the time I met him when he was 16. And Dave kind of just brought us together saying, Brian is working on music. Would you be interested in doing something with the 2 of us? And things kind of started rolling from there. We formed, well, the first day we met, we recorded I think 3 little demos that we've revisited over the years that are out there. And I think we called ourselves Movement to begin. We were not yet Mind Machine, but the 3 of us, continued on. We had members come and go, up to 5 members at one point. And then by the end of around 91, we kind of mostly dissolved up until 95. And then we really dissolved for a long, long time. So I just happened to be the one who could sing better than Dave. And I think Brian has a great voice. I don't know why he asked me to sing. I really don't have any idea.
Fantastic. Well, if I can make an observation, of course, those that listen to my show know that one of my favorite bands is Cause and Effect, and Rob Rowe is one of my all-time favorite singers. And you do a pretty good Rob Rowe. But you're still unique in your own timbre of your voice, and it's just it's very close to I think the way Rob Rowe sounds, and for me that's a big plus anyway. So I like it.
I definitely appreciate that. He was certainly a big influence, and then later down the line, now with BlakLight we had Von Herzog from BHXRR do a remix for us,
right? And
just knowing that I know that he shared it with Rob, and Rob had feedback on the mix and stuff, I was like, oh my God, he knows who we are.
That's awesome.
It was very exciting. So yeah,
that's awesome.
I love Cosmo. So.
Right on. So Adam, you handle the bulk of the music duties there with BlakLight. Tell us just kind of briefly how you got started with music, where you first began developing and building what would become your career with BlakLight.
Well, I couldn't sing, so that was out of the question. We had a piano in the house as I was growing up, and my mom would play it, I guess, every once in a while. And my brothers played guitar. So from 9 years old, I was into Depeche Mode, and then I moved into Soft Cell and Devo and all that. I really liked keyboard music. And so I took piano lessons for about a week and a half when I was 11, and got bored with that. I would rather play with my friends, so I stopped doing that. And then I picked up a single from Depeche Mode, and Alan Wilder was playing Moonlight Sonata on it, and it just hit me, that song. And so I immediately went out and got the music for that and learned how to play that song. And from there, I just started playing the piano again, and then got my first band at 18 and started with the wonderful Roland D5.
Nice.
And just went on from there. And I've been in bands ever since I was 18 years old.
Cool. Fantastic. So either one of you that wants to take a stab at this, how exactly did your collaboration, your pairing as BlakLight come together? What was kind of the genesis of a BlakLight in that regard?
Brian, you want to take it? Or you want me to?
Sure, I'll go. You can have the next one then.
All right.
All right, deal. Let's see. I guess it would go back to maybe a few years back. Mind Machine was putting together a remix album called Remix Machine. And I undertook the task of finding all the remixes for the project. And I had heard MDA and I'd heard Couldn't We? And thought that was an amazing song. And
there you go, Mars.
Asked, it's like, hey, Adam, do you want to remix a song for us? And he's like, sure. So he did the remix, and it was awesome. It was a song called 100,000 Million. And sometime later, towards the end of, I guess, 2019, Adam sent me a message out of the blue saying he was working on a project, bringing in some different vocalists to do different songs. And would I be interested in doing something? And I said, sure. And he said, okay, well, you're going to have to write the lyrics. I don't write the vocal melodies. I don't do any of that. I said, well, neither do I. I've never done that before, but if you want to give me a chance, I'm happy to give it a go. And he said, sure, I'll put something together and get back to you. So that was the end of 2019. I think maybe it was, I saw him in a show in January of 2020, I think. It was, I believe it was the Ola Moore show. No, it was a Crush 333 show. And Adam was like, hey, Brian, I'm going to be sending you something soon. I was like, sure, okay, sounds great, anytime. And lo and behold, the next month, I believe it was February of 2020, he sent me the first song. I was with my family at the circus. And I remember seeing a text saying, or a Facebook message saying, check this out, what do you think? And it was a song called BlakLight. And so I hopped in the car on the way home and listened to it a few times. Had to drop someone off. I think I stopped and recorded a quick little like vocal take of an idea for what I thought was the chorus, by the way, which was just the first few lines, run to the black light, blah, blah, blah. I sent it back to Adam. He was like, cool, this sounds awesome. And then he sent it back to me, taking my vocal line, putting it in the beginning of the verse, repeating it a few times. He's like, cool, let me know how it goes. And then we kind of started from there. It was originally just supposed to be one song. And then I sent him that first one, and then he sent me another one. And I sent that one back, and he sent me another one. And then sooner or later, he's like, hey, I've got some more songs. We should just keep going, make it an album. It's pretty much how it went.
Yeah.
Not a lot of thought ahead of time.
Right on. So now both of you, and Brian, you touched upon this a short while ago. Both of you are involved in multiple music projects aside from BlakLight. And Brian, you talked a little bit about being a member of Mind Machine and how that kind of progressed. But Adam, you're also you're involved in a couple of different projects as well. Could you take a moment, just kind of tell us about MDA and Crush 333 and Full Frontal Disco? Is it?
Yeah, which
Right on.
I may change the name of that, but that's what it's going under right now.
You gotta explain that one. Come on.
So yeah, I started with Crush. It actually started as 12 AM or 12 Angry Men back in 1990, and I've been working with that band up until maybe about a year and a half ago, and we just ran into some difficulties there. So that band is on hiatus for a while, and then MDA, I was just messing around one night in the studio with Danny, and Mars was over there. I think we may have been working on his Christmas album, or it was something else. I can't remember. And we joked around about having writing a play or a musical called Bathhouse. And so
Nice.
just and Mars can tell you about that someday. But I just came up with a song really quick, and they both came in and started singing, and pretty soon I had, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 songs done, and we started playing around for a little bit, or we played a couple of shows, and tried to do some recording, and things just came up, and really the only finished one we have is Couldn't We, but we played a full set, I think, of 10 songs a couple of times, and played a gay pride festival and had a lot of fun. And then I had an idea of working with different vocalists, like Brian said, and I just saw a name of a club called Full Frontal Disco, and I thought, wow, that would be a great name for a band. And so I started to gather some names for that, and Brian was on the top of my list because I had a lot of fun doing the remix for Mind Machine. And like you said, he sounds a lot like Rob Rowe. I'm a big fan of Cause and Effect, Red Flag, 7 Red 7, Say Déjà Vu, bands like that. So I wanted to give that a try, and I love what he did. And he said that he hadn't written vocals, I think, in the last time he wrote them was in high school, maybe, I think is what he told
Correct. Yeah. When I was 16.
me. And
They're
he's a pro.
terrible too.
No, he's a pro.
Ah,
And I immediately liked what he was doing, and the words really hit me. And all of a sudden, I just started throwing songs at him. I mean, his it just hit a chord with me, and the music just came really quickly for BlakLight. So, but with Full Frontal Disco, I have a song out there with Neil Francis that I'm waiting on. Amanda Jane Rogers from She Used to Be in Somber Moon. I've got Mark singing a couple of songs, Mark Bebb. And I think the first single that's going to come out is with Ryan Slemko, which is a really cool song. So, but my baby right now is BlakLight. I'm having a lot of fun working with Ryan.
Right on. And
I'm having fun too.
well, I was going to say we're all having a lot of fun listening to what you guys are working on. So, so Brian, what singers along the way? We've already talked about Rob Rowe, but what other singers, while you've been involved in music, have inspired you or have kind of been, people you've looked up to and whatnot? Tell us a bit about that.
Oh, the classics, I guess. I'm a huge David Bowie fan. He's my peak top of everything. Though I don't know. He just not just his vocal, the way he uses his voice as an instrument, not just to sing words. That he does so many other things with it. I really admire.
Right.
But I mean, there's tons of other ones out there too. I mean, obviously, growing up, I was a huge Duran Duran fan, so I really enjoyed Simon Le Bon's whiny, pitchy, note cracking vocals like that. That inspired me because I am often like that, and to hear someone else be successful with kind of a sometimes not perfect voice, made me feel okay to not have a perfect voice. I know I'm not Andy Bell. I'm not a great singer, but I'm learning what tools I have to get by and make it sound as best I can. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously I listened to a lot of Depeche Mode growing up, but I'm actually a bigger Martin vocal fan than Dave. Mm-hmm. I like his harmonies and the stuff he does in the background. I actually really enjoy and take a lot of inspiration from that. And then Rob Rowe is another one. I think just because I was listening to so much of that kind of stuff during those formative vocal years. But then I think one other one that I've because you kind of posed some of these questions to us ahead of time, so it made me think that when I was putting together the stuff for BlakLight, that I've been listening to a lot of New Order. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that Bernard Sumner, again, not someone with a particularly great voice, but his ear for melody and for phrasing and the way he uses what he has. I find myself going to a lot of New Order songs sometimes for inspiration on how he handles things. And, not necessarily like I want to sound like him, but I like a lot of what he does with his melodies and his phrasing and stuff like that.
Right on. So, Adam, kind of the same question that I'll move over to you. And you've already talked about Alan Wilder and Devo and some others, but who are some other musicians that have inspired you in regards to the way that you approach composing a song or throwing an arrangement together? Who are the people that really kind of boosted you the most in that regard?
Yeah, the number one, like I mentioned, is Alan Wilder, hands down. The guy's just brilliant. The atmospheres that he creates. If I can do 1% of that, of what he can do, I'd be happy. David Bowie too. Just the soundscapes and the way that he changes from album to album is a big inspiration. Mark Allman is a huge inspiration in the music that he does, and Soft Cell, and Erasure. But then I grew up listening to Crosby, Stills and Nash and Dan Fogelberg and Willie Nelson and things like that. So I don't know if I bring some of that influence into it, but I probably do. I'm a big Cure fan, Sex Pistols, just everything. So I try to throw everything into it and see what comes out.
It may be kind of odd of me to say this, but I can actually see, well, actually more appropriately here, it's funny you mentioned Dan Fogelberg. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day about some of the harmonies that he used in his music. And so you definitely, I think when I listen to BlakLight tracks, I hear a lot of different harmonics and stuff going on, and a lot of different melodies going on. And it kind of shows that your ear extends beyond the realm of synth pop. I think to get some of that classic, pop feel to it in a lot of ways. So that's cool, awesome. Thanks, Adam. So we kind of have a pretty good idea here. What Brian does as the singer and what Adam does with the music, but do the roles ever? Have you guys ever talked about reversing the roles, like maybe having Adam sing lead vocals on a track, or then have Brian do all the music for it? Any of that possibility?
You'll be waiting a real long time if I'm doing some music or a track.
Yeah,
I tried doing some stuff for Mind Machine. We did an EP called Demonstration 01 and 02, and it was really just because I wanted to try and help push the project along after we'd released something. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to try and build some momentum. So maybe I could learn to program stuff. It took me so long to try and do anything. I'm not musically inclined, and I don't have a lot of technical savvy with that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't do that. But I've heard Adam sing, and I think he sounds fine, because when we did the song Control, that was one song where he gave me a vocal line that he had in mind for it. So I've heard him singing some la-las and saying I've lost control. And I heard his version of Bad Gadget's Lady Shave, which I thought was just fine as it is. It didn't need me singing it. So he's fine by himself.
I don't think so. I did do the Fad Gadget, and I was thinking about releasing it as a solo type thing, but no, once I got Brian on board, his voice fit that much better. I'm fine doing backups and things like that, but as a lead, I don't think I can do it. I'm not confident enough to do it.
Well, if I can ever make a request, I would love to hear Adam sing something. And I'm probably not the only one here in the live chat here today that would like to hear. So I'm getting some thumbs up right now. So there's your challenge, Adam.
Right. All right.
So
I'll do that polka for you. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, that now you're talking my language. There we go. So if you guys would just take a moment and just kind of walk us through the process of how, particularly Brian, with the lyrics, how do you go about approaching the way that you come up with lyrics, and what kind of headspace do you have to get yourself into to do when you're writing lyrics for the BlakLight stuff?
Pure luck. I don't know. I mean, like I said earlier, I wrote lyrics for 2 Mind Machine songs back when we were 16, and they're dreadful. It took the Disintegration booklet by The Cure, the CD booklet, and I went through and I looked for all my favorite words that I liked, and I just wrote them all down and tried to piece things together. So for this, I didn't know where I was going to start. So I initially took, Adam would send me the demo, say, for instance, a song called BlakLight. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to write about? I'm going to write a song called BlakLight. He sent me a song called Isolation. What am I going to write about? I'll write a song called Isolation. So I did that for, I think it was for the album, I think it was all of them. I used the album, the working titles, or a variation on it. And kind of what I'll do when he sends me this song is I'll listen to it a few times and kind of just wonder at the majesty of Adam and his songwriting and production. And once I've done that, I'll start listening to it, again, and start kind of like just humming along and singing some la-las. And usually something comes melodically pretty quickly, particularly with choruses. They'll come pretty quickly, and sometimes the words for the choruses come pretty quickly. And then it's the actual verses that take me a little bit longer. So I'll kind of start just, filling in my la-las with some words, and then start thinking like, oh my God, what is this song even about? And then once I decide, okay, this is what I'm trying to say with the song, then usually the verse kind of just goes and fills in pretty quickly. But I don't feel like I'm particularly a wordsmith. But I think the things I'm writing about may or may not be, you know, about my life experience, or may not be about things that are around me. It's kind of hard to say. Just kind of, I open up and feel the receptacles feed things in, and I kind of shoot it back out.
Well, I can tell you did a fantastic job on Isolation and on Unknown Love. I mean, just
Thank you.
catchy choruses on both. I mean, just you just really top-notch job. I think. I mean, that's just me.
I mean, I love a catchy chorus, so I think that's probably why that part comes really quick, because I want something that's catchy.
Right.
So it's the other part where I'm like, well, this may not be as catchy, so it's not as much fun. Maybe, I don't know, but
Right.
I'm definitely with you. I think all of our songs have catchy choruses for the most part.
Most definitely. So Adam, kind of the same question to you, not so much with the lyrics, but when you begin composing a BlakLight track, whether at the demo stage or whatever, do you start with say a chord progression, or do you start off with more of the rhythmic component, or do you go straight for a melody? What is your approach to let's use Isolation as an example. Tell us kind of how that one came together for you.
I don't go in with a plan, really. I don't really go in with a plan. So I'll go through and I'll just sit at the keyboard and I'll find a sound that resonates with me for the day. And it happened to be the main riff at the beginning of Isolation. And then I just start layering it from there. The rhythm and the bass actually come last for me. Those aren't strong points of mine.
Interesting.
I'm more into trying to create atmospheres and as best I can melody lines in there. But I don't really go at a song ever with a chord. I don't sit at the piano or do anything like that. It just comes with a sound. And then I mean, it might be cliche or weird, but it just comes to me. I can't explain it. It's like it's just dropped into my brain, and I start writing the songs, and they usually come pretty quickly. I don't have a formula for it. I wish I did. I always say that the universe just drops it on me. I mean, it's as weird as that may sound, that's just how it works with me.
Right on. It's funny that you would say that you don't think that your rhythmic aspects are one of your stronger suits. And in all honesty, when I listen to your work that you've done with BlakLight, and particularly with MDA, that's like one of the first things that pops out to me is, wow, this has got a really good groove. It's got a really good steady, in the pocket kind of feel. And I think for me, but that's also one of the first things that I will, subconsciously zero in on is, what kind of a rhythm does the song have? Does it really move me, which is what a good rhythm is supposed to do. And I think you do a fantastic job on that. Just my own my own 2 cents on that. But that's cool. I also can pick up on the fact that you really kind of work to build the atmospherics of the track as well, because that's another thing that to me stands out with the work you've done with Brian and BlakLight. So that's cool. Thanks for sharing that.
These songs are pretty much done when I give them to Brian. I'll just put the finishing touches after I hear his melodies and his lyrics. Then I'll add atmosphere on top of that too. So
fantastic.
And his melodies and his voice really help out to flesh out the track too.
Well, if I can make an observation, and I'm sure I will get at least one person in here to agree with me, it sounds like you guys have been working together for years. I mean, it truly does. You truly seem to play really well off each other, which is an absolutely crucial thing to have within the framework of whether it's a duo or trio or 5 or 6 piece band. And at least that's kind of the way it feels to me, is when I listen to your stuff and listen to both of you talk. It's funny because you guys haven't really been working together for that long, but yet it sounds like, music wise, from what I hear with the music, it sounds like you guys have been working together as long as Brian's been working in Mind Machine. And I think that speaks, if anything, to really how well both of you do what you do. And I mean that most sincerely. I mean, it's really, really impressive to me is what I guess I'm trying to say. So
It really is effortless. This has been the most easy project I've ever worked on in my life, and I'm having the time of my life.
right on. See, Brian, he said you're easy.
I mean, he is, you know, for the right price, you know, another old fashioned. If you could get me one of these, I'm even easier.
There you go.
But Adam is also, you know, very easy to work with. And, you know, he sends me the track, I work on it, I send it back. He adds some flair. I mean, we really don't have a lot of discussion about the music, you know, really, other than every now and then I'll be like, hey, can you bump that, you know, that BPM up a little bit? Sure. Hey, can you change that key? Sure. And that's about really as much as we ever have to go back and forth on anything. He's just super simple, you know.
That's awesome. Awesome. So another thing that you guys have done really well is some of the collaborations that you've chosen for your project with BlakLight. You've got some amazing remixes done by some of the most impressive indie artists, I think, in the industry. One of them being, as you called out earlier, Brian, VH times RR with you know, Von Herzog and Rob Rowe there. But you've also worked with guys like Matthias and you know, People Theater. I believe you guys had a People Theater track. So just kind of talk to us, and we'll start with Adam here. If you would, just tell us about some of those collaborative efforts that you've had that have been most memorable for you. Some of your favorite ones.
That's all Brian choosing those remixers. I mean, I would have obviously, like Matt Danforth and Darwin and people like that, or Darren, sorry, I would have chosen. But he pulled up Nature Wires and VHX, you know, RR. I wouldn't have pulled them up. But I really enjoy the one that Vaughn did for Isolation. There's a lot of atmosphere in that I like that he did. And I really like Darren's and Matt's Unknown Love. And I don't like to pick a favorite, but I really liked also what Keith and Ryan did with Unknown Love. Ryan added some vocals in there, which was really impressive, and I wasn't expecting that, and it was a big surprise. And then obviously Keith's style in there, writing the music. That one I really enjoyed. But Brian, you have anything to add?
I love going out and looking for people to remix our stuff. It's a lot of fun because I get to go and meet these other amazing artists and build relationships with them. And, you know, it's really exciting, especially as the vocalist, where sometimes, you know, I may be all that's left of the original track. So it's almost like, wow, I'm working with Matthias, I'm working with Darwin McD. This is really cool. You know, I wanted Matt to remix a Mind Machine track years ago. And I asked him earlier on for BlakLight, I think for Isolation maybe. And he was like, oh, I don't know. Or maybe I think it was for Unknown Love, but you were like, I'm not sure. And then at the last, you know, right before it was time to like turn off, you know, no more remixes. He's like, hey, I have time. I can fit you in now. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And so it's really exciting for me to just hear everyone else's takes and be involved with all these other artists. It's a blast. I have a big list of, like a big wish list of people that I'd love to have do our stuff. And,
yeah,
you know, some I've reached out to already who say, you know, not right now. So I'll come back to you, and others who, you know, get there when the time is right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they've all been amazing. I'm really honored to have all of these artists remix our song.
Right on. Now there's some fantastic remixes that I've heard off of Unknown Love and Isolation and whatnot. So right on. So another question I have for you is, and this is for each of you. So we'll start with Adam here. What is your favorite BlakLight tune that you've written so far?
Oh, geez.
Like naming your favorite child. I know.
Yeah, I think some of the new ones, because they're fresh. I really enjoyed doing the Cuts You Up. Thank you for playing that, from Peter Murphy, the cover.
Sure.
But but Isolation and Unknown Love and Control, which are the singles that we're releasing, those I really love.
Right on.
If I had to pick one though, it would be, for me, it would be Unknown Love.
Cool. Excellent choice. Brian, same question to you. What is one of your favorite BlakLight tunes?
That's tough. I would definitely say Isolation is one of them, simply because of the amount of people that I've gotten feedback from who have really appreciated the song or said meant something to them. So that was kind of cool. But as a personal favorite, I really like the sound. Though that one seems to be one where I've gotten feedback where people either really like that one or they're really meh about it. So I think that probably spurs me to like it more.
Right.
There's just something about it that I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I like it.
Right on. Yeah, there you go. Simple answer. So same question that I posed to Darwin McD and Mark Bebb yesterday. Are there any plans in the future to have BlakLight do some shows once the ability to do so is restored by the powers that be?
I would love to. I mean, I have projections that I'm already thinking about it in my head. So I mean, that's all up to Brian if he wants to do it. He's on board. I don't know if we have the songs to do it, but no, I'd really love to.
Yeah, same. I mean, I haven't sang live in front of people in 30 years. Last year, my machine was finally going to play live for the first time. We had a show that was tentative last year with MDA, Positronic, and Anything Box in Orange County. That fell apart for various reasons. So I'm ready to get out there. And I was talking to another artist who did a remix of Unknown Love, who was looking into putting a tour together with us for at the end of this year, but who knows if or when that will happen. But yeah, we definitely want to get out there and play eventually.
Right on.
And I'll try to get Darren as the second keyboardist too.
Good luck with that.
It'll be his cardboard cutout. That's good enough.
That's right. That may have to settle.
You just have to clap. That's all we want.
There it goes.
Some of these.
I think it would be a lot of fun. I think our music would be really powerful over big speakers.
I would have to agree. And obviously with me being a fan and being more than just a little biased, I would absolutely love to see BlakLight perform live, which kind of segues into my next question. What are some of the other indie bands, if you could throw together, like your own mini music festival and pick 4 other bands to play with, 4 any other indie synth pop bands, who would you love the opportunity to perform as BlakLight with? I'll throw that to Brian first.
Dang it. Darwin McD, Matthias, Mars, and Matt. I mean, all of our friends, really. Eminent Soul, Eloquence.
Cool.
All of our friends. That's what I want to play with. We've met so many amazing people here and overseas. I mean, people like Natured Wires and Friction and BHXRR or Night and everyone that's remixed us. I mean, there's a reason why I reach out to those people. It's people I admire, and right whether on. They're, we look at these people as our peers and contemporaries, and also I look up to them as well for inspiration. And there's just so much amazing talent and so much that we can learn from them. Watching Mars sing, I'm just amazed how he goes up there and the stuff that comes out of his mouth, I'm just blown away at how he does it, and the talent in here just blows me away.
Right on. Adam, how about you? Who are some of the ones you would like to perform with?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I mean, Matthias and Mars, obviously.
Except
Shelter.
for Mars would blow me off the stage, and I'd feel really embarrassed.
Yeah, I think we'd be able to.
I'd have to Tanya Harding you or something.
Yeah, I think we'd be able to open up for these guys. But Matthias and Mars, Shelter, obviously, anything that Mark's doing, I'd like to do. your band, Jim. I mean, everything that Brian said. I mean,
Right on.
our tastes are so exactly the same that I don't disagree with anything that he said.
Right on. Well, Steve Liss, I know Steve is here. We got to make this happen, Steve. We gotta make a show. We got to come up with a show as soon as this pandemic winds down, whether we do it in LA or if we can find a place in Nevada or Arizona or Utah. I've got a great club here in Utah. We could organize something, just like make a weekend out of it. We'll have to get Matt down here. We'll have to get, we'll see if we can do a GoFundMe and get Mark Bebb over here. And that'd be awesome. I would love to do something like that. That would just be an awful lot of fun. And I see Darren kind of smiling back there. So let's start with Brian on this one. Tell us an interesting fact about you that most people probably don't know.
Wait, wasn't Adam supposed to go first now?
Spotlight's on you, my friend.
I could think of two things. One, so I could just shift the focus away for a minute. I think when I met you in person a few years back at that OMD show in Vegas, and you kept referring to Darren over and over, I kept thinking you were mistaken talking about Darwin, because I thought Darren's name was really Darwin for the longest time. I had no idea. I may have even corrected you, and I'm not really sure. Oh, you mean, yeah, sure, Darwin, yeah. So that's my shift away of me for a minute. I was once on Dateline NBC.
Really?
In the 90s. Yeah. Why am I thinking of this? I met, it was a friend of mine and I were shopping in the Virgin Megastore in West Hollywood, and some producer was in there looking for people who like music and like to buy a lot of CDs. And I said, sure, I've got a couple thousand CDs at home. And she said, oh, well, we'd like to come to your place and interview you about CDs and how much they cost. And I said, okay. And they came over and filmed me filing through CDs at my home. And it's like, oh, yeah, we want to come to your work and film you at work. Where do you work? Like, oh, I work at Starbucks. And she's like, okay, we'll come to Starbucks and film you making lattes. So, yeah, I got to be interviewed by Josh Makowitz in my little condo and film me making lattes. And that footage is somewhere on YouTube. Somewhere.
Right. That is so cool.
So
right on.
Yeah.
That is just that. Wow. I don't know if
it's a weird story that came to my head.
Adam, can you top that one? Come on. What's an interesting fact about you?
I cannot. I used to be a pretty good volleyball player when I was younger, played in a lot of tournaments.
Uh-huh.
I also was in a lot of half pipe tournaments as a kid, skateboarder. And during the Violator warehouse debacle back, when was that, Brian? 80s, 90s?
90.
In the news footage, I was the guy in the tree.
Are you serious? Wow. So check this out.
Wow.
One of my Facebook friends is the guy who was the store manager of that. What was it? A Tower Records? Or no, the warehouse. That's right, warehouse. He was the store manager of the warehouse when that Depeche Mode riot happened, and he's told me some really cool stories about that. That is so awesome.
Yeah, I wish I had a cool story about it, other than that I was super far away and nowhere close to a tree to climb into. So good on you, man.
I was there too, Adam. I think I saw you in that tree that night.
I had to push my way to that tree, but I think it was after a girl fainted and me and my friend had to put her up above the crowd and carry her out.
So funny. I definitely remember the footage.
I'll never forget. I think it was MTV News ran a story on it at the time, and they were talking about how a little ways down the street, Van Halen were playing a concert, but that more people actually showed up to the Depeche Mode in-store signing for at the warehouse. And then years later, I saw an interview with David Lee Roth, who said that he was almost in that crowd or something like that. He was, apparently, I heard somewhere he was like a big Depeche Mode fan, which I guess is kind of like Axl Rose. Somebody told me that Axl Rose was like a big Depeche Mode fan back when Violator came out, and showed up to the Pet Shop Boys concert when the Pet Shop Boys toured in '91.
Wow.
So it's like you don't think of these rockers, really being into that kind of thing. So whenever I hear stuff like that, my ears kind of perk up about stuff like that. But that's cool. I love those stories. So
we're out there together.
Yeah, there you go. So Brian, share with us one of your most embarrassing music moments.
Most of them. Really, most of them. I mean, it's really only the past year or two that I feel less embarrassed about some of the stuff I've done. I mean, I could think back. I mean, My Machine played a few shows back when we were in high school, and I have one memory of just I think we did a song called Blind Faith, and it had all these verses and so many words, and I just remember the second verse hit, and I missed my cue, and I couldn't remember a single word, and I just kind of stood there and kind of bopped my head back and forth for the entire second verse. That's a good one. Yeah, all sorts, most of them. Yeah, really, most of them. Most everything you've heard until recently.
Right on. So Adam, same question to you. What's one of your most embarrassing music moments?
Oh, hands down, it was with Crush, and it was probably in '99. And back then we had our backing tracks on CD, and the stage started bouncing with the bass and started skipping the song.
You had a Milli Vanilli moment.
Yeah, and people started yelling that at us, so that was pretty bad.
Oh man, I'm sorry. So to kind of counter that, Adam, tell us about one of your more treasured music moments, one of the more positive memories.
Opening up for Gene Loves Jezebel was pretty good. Also, we headlined the Halloween festival in LA.
Mm-hmm.
We were one of the headliners as Crush, and that was probably the best show that I can remember.
Nice, very cool. Brian, how about you? What's one of your favorite or more treasured music moments?
Maybe Mind Machine, when we released our return song about 3 years ago, We Keep Walking, which was the first new thing we had done since 1995. So just coming back to music, and we felt really confident about what we did, more so than when we were younger. So I would say that was definitely one of them, and I think another one is just all the stuff that doing with Adam, releasing the album. I think was Music in a Time of Uncertainty was another one of them, where it's not something I thought I'd be doing, writing lyrics and melodies and releasing music with someone else that I met recently and only met in person 2 times before. So I felt that we accomplished something really special, and I'm excited for all the other stuff we got in the pipeline.
Right on. So what are you guys working on in the future? What can we expect coming from BlakLight fairly soon, in the not too distant future?
Well, we have, I think, you've written all the lyrics for 9 of the songs so far, right?
We have one that's done, The Fallen, which we released on Darkness Calling, You Are Not Alone compilation. That's going on the second album. I've got lyrics and melodies written for 8 more. And then there's just one more that I need to do, that you need to finish first.
Yeah, so right after,
pretty close.
I think right after we released the album, I started sending Brian tracks. And then they started becoming 2 and 3 at a time. It happened really fast again. And some of it sounds cool. I was listening to Ministry's first album, their synth album, a lot during that time. So I think I mentioned to Brian that I thought one of them sounded like if they would have done a second album like that, what the music sounds like that. The music's a progression from the last album. I think everybody's going to enjoy it. There's one song I have to finish for Brian, and so he can start writing the lyrics.
Right.
And yeah, and then we're also doing remixes for other people, and we just finished a song for a compilation album today, which is really cool, which I kind of want to put on the album, but we'll see.
That's for album 3.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, on top of that, he sent me a new song today, or a new idea for album 3 already today.
Yeah, by the way, Brian, I already started album 3.
Yeah, that's fine. No, I mean, yeah, he literally, I think before last year was over, I had 5 or 6 new songs from him already. And I think it took me a minute to be ready to try and figure out what I was going to write about, what I was feeling. You know, I'm very self-conscious about not wanting to repeat what we did on the last album. And I think musically we're definitely not. And I wanted to make sure that lyrically and vocally, it wasn't just going to be the same songs over with just different words with the same feelings and emotions. So I took me a little while longer until I think it's maybe like I'd done melodies, you know, about a month or so ago for all of them. And then maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I sat down and I just finished writing out all the lyrics for all the songs. And so now we have one more song to do for another charity compilation, another track we're working on this week. Once we're done with that one, then I'm going to go in and start recording the vocals for the second album. And I think our plan is hopefully have the first single out maybe in July now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Something
nice.
like that, because we'll have Control coming out next month with Cuts You Up, and then the following month we're going to have Control the remixes, of course. So we've got some really awesome people who've done some remixes for us. And then then the next single from the new album.
Yeah, again, this was just effortless. I mean, I just started shoving songs down his throat, and I didn't think he was prepared for me to have some.
Right on. So when Adam, when can we expect the polka? I mean, I got to know.
Well, you know, I just got the 8-week-old Weimaraner, so that kind of slows me down a little bit. So
Got it.
give me a month.
You got it. So Brian, we'll start with you here. Tell us what are some of your interests outside of music? We've been spending the bulk of the hour here talking about everything music. What do you do when you are not doing music?
I'm either working or with the family. That's pretty much it. And if I'm with the family, it's whatever it is to make them happy. So, you know, whether it's we're, you know, going out somewhere to take a walk, or, you know, can't go to any places right now, but we're booking some trips later for this year. We go out some places. We're going to take a trip to New York and Philadelphia.
Nice.
We're going to meet up with Von Herzog in Philly.
Sweet.
He's going to come meet us there. So
make sure that he takes you to Tony Luke's for a good.
Tony Luke's, is that the place?
Yeah, that's like, well, you're talking to a New Yorker here, so he probably knows
Okay, no,
better
please hit me.
being in
I
Philly.
need the tips.
but yeah, Tony Luke's makes a great cheesesteak. That's like one of the best you'll ever have.
Okay. I'm going to ask him tonight what he thinks is the best, and I'll let you know what he says.
All right.
We're doing some traveling, and, you know, it's really just, you know, I'm a human Zoom school teacher as well for the kids. I have been for the past year, so that's been a lot of my time. And, you know, just like to be with the family, really.
Right on. Good man. Adam, how about you? What do you do? What do you like to do when you're not doing music?
Playing with the pups and spending time with my wife. We watch Netflix movies, and I'm sorry to say, but we watch all of the Housewives shows.
Not even the Housewives of Salt Lake. Please tell me you didn't watch that.
I can't watch that one, but we watch all the other
Thank you.
things. And I like to read band biographies and things like that.
Cool.
Really boring stuff.
Any recent biographies you've read lately that you're kind of really enjoyed?
Yeah, my wife's reading, her favorite band is in 1975, and I enjoy them too. And I'm picking through that one at the moment.
Right on. So, of course, there's two questions I have to ask. Do both of you like tacos?
Are you kidding?
Live in,
I
live
showed
in
you
California.
pictures. Of me picking up, I showed you pictures of me picking up tacos at one of our Zoom meetings.
Right on. And,
Tacos every week here. At least one day a week. It's not normally Taco Tuesday, but one day during this week is a taco.
Yeah.
There we go.
Taco.
That's what I like to hear. And of course, the final question, Brian, do you like bunnies?
Well, we have a dog. We have 2 dogs and a cat. I'm a cat person mainly, but my kids have recently started a petition for 2 bunnies because we have some friends who have 2 bunnies. So my kids have been working really hard and collecting what they call rabbit points, which is them doing particular chores around the house to accumulate points that they can earn in order to earn this bunny or bunnies. So I don't say I don't like bunnies because we will be taking in 2 bunnies at some point. I
Right
guess I
on.
like them. They're fine. They're fine.
Well, I'm going to
I'm
tell
not
you
going
once,
to eat them.
that's good. Once you have
Never.
bunnies though, you're gonna totally become a bunny person because they just work their way into your heart. And you may always be a cat person, but man, once you get those bunnies, you're gonna love
I
them.
hope so. I hope so.
They're,
As long
they're
as I
little,
don't have to clean up after them or feed them or do anything like that. I'm okay.
they're little turd factories, and they chew on
Yeah.
everything. But yeah, right on. And Adam, I know you like bunnies, right?
Jim, I don't just like bunnies. I love bunnies because I love you.
Well, thank you. Right on. Well, that folks, that concludes the interview portion that I have for Brian and Adam. And so with that, I'll open the floor up to all of you that are attending, and feel free to ask any questions of Brian and or Adam here, and or myself, and we'll be happy to take the bulk of the time. And I see the first person with a hand up is Darwin, better known as Darren McDermott. So Darren, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question for both of you. Can you guys slow the hell down? Because you're making the rest of us look lazy with all your songwriting.
Right? Yeah, no doubt.
Darren, I'll slow down when you agree to play live one time.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
Is it
he's
fair?
he's got you there, Darren. He's
Yeah,
got
I don't
you.
know about that. Just keep going.
It's funny. Brian Olson told me the same thing today. I was like, hey, here's another song that we finished, this week that we started on and finished this week. And oh yeah, we have to do another one next week for another compilation. And then yeah, we're almost ready to record the next album. And he was like, okay, well, I'm working on the first demo for the next My Machine EP, and it'll be done soon. So we're gonna see how quickly we can get to LP 2 and 3.
I seriously think it's like a race between you guys and Eric C. Powell as to who can release the most tracks in a year. I mean, you guys are just machines.
I don't know how he does it. I hope I do my best to try to keep up.
Matt, you have a question.
Adam, can you prove to us all that you're wearing pants?
Yes.
I am wearing pajama bottoms.
Oh, and they're striped. I love them.
Those are very Mark Ben.
They are. They are. Okay. Anybody else?
Before you ask, Matt, I'm wearing shorts. I'm wearing not pajama pants. I'm wearing shorts. I haven't worn real trousers, as we learned yesterday. Like Darren, I haven't worn real trousers in over a year, maybe twice.
Boxer shorts don't count.
No, they're not boxer shorts.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
They're
I'm just
short
making
shorts.
sure.
I mean, not short shorts, not dolphin shorts like Jim likes to wear. These are regular shorts.
Right. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, oh my God, I didn't even know.
Sorry, I'm a little late.
Good to see Omar there.
How are you, Omar?
Yeah. Hey, I'm doing really well. Thank you.
Thanks for showing up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a little late. I was caught up in some other things, so
no worries.
I wanted to come and at least support you guys. So
love the studio there, Omar. That's beautiful there
thanks.
behind you.
Thank
Love
you.
that.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for Darren or for Darren? Darren, we're going to turn all the questions on you now. Steve, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Great show, by the way, Jim. Great to hear the insights. And Adam, you're from Orange. I live in Villa Park, and I was born in Long Beach, so we sort of went in reverse on this. But it was great to hear David Bowie mentioned twice tonight, and I think it's the first time that I've been listening or tuning, participating in this that he's come up. And I just want to say that, as musicians, there is so much to learn from David, and he just is an amazing artist who was never afraid to change, never rested on his laurels or successes, always surrounded himself with amazing musicians, and just kept himself fresh constantly. And there's a lot to learn by just emulating even a tiny portion of that in the music that we all do, I think.
I completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah. See the Ashes to Ashes video. I don't know how old I was, under 10 years old, but I was absolutely captivated and frightened by that video. And I just was a fan ever since.
First,
I mean, my two favorite artists are David Bowie and Prince. So I like those types of people who are incredibly prolific and are constantly changing and doing something different. And
yeah, Prince for a lot of the same reasons. Yeah,
whatever they want to do. Exactly. Those are my two top everythings.
And they were never afraid to fail, and I think that's an important lesson for everyone. I mean, you move in a direction, and maybe it's not safe, and you're worried that maybe nobody's going to like it, or maybe this will be a failure, and maybe sometimes it is, but you can't be afraid to try and to stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of why I like working with Adam too, is that I could be speaking out of turn, but I feel that we don't take what we do. It's not so precious that we're going to spend hours and hours on end to perfect every little last bit. We want to just keep going and creating and doing new things. And, okay, let's put that out now. Let's do the next thing. And it's fun to create and do it, and not just get hung up on every little detail. And, I try and, I go with my first instincts on every melody that I've ever had, with the exception of maybe one, just because I'll start getting hung up and second guessing. I think the way I look how they created so quickly, Prince has thousands of unreleased songs that, he could just shoot out. And I really, I love that. Exactly. I love that there's just this catalog of stuff, and it's all different, and, they're all important and great songs. Some of them, not all of them, but, you just keep moving and keep creating.
Well, and Steve, I think you touched on something that really resonates with me about both Bowie and Prince, and that was when you said that they surrounded themselves with some of the best musicians. And how true is that? I mean, take a look at Prince's band, The Revolution. You had Matt Fink on keyboards and Bobby Z on drums. And then with Bowie, he would work with everybody from Reeves Gabrels to Brian Eno and pretty much everybody in between. And I think that's one of the reasons why he was, not the only reason, not even a big reason, but it was definitely, I think, a contributing factor that he surrounded himself with some of the truly the best musicians that were out there to help him, bring his musical vision to life, as it were. And, of course, he was always known as rock's greatest chameleon. And, I have to say, probably my favorite Bowie album is one that most Bowie fans probably don't like, but I love the album he did in '97 called Earthling.
Awesome. I love it.
One of his later albums. I mean, there's a track on there called Looking for Satellites that just blew my mind. I mean, literally the harmonies that are in it. It's got that Reeves Gabrels scorching guitar solo in there. Awesome. I mean, I just awesome. love that album. Just great stuff. And of course, I love Let's Dance because, Nile Rodgers and Stevie Ray Vaughan. How can you go wrong with that combination?
You can't.
Yeah.
Yep. Right on.
Yeah. Looking for Satellites. Agree. Completely fantastic. That whole album is amazing. Dead Man Walking is one of my favorites.
Yep.
Of his, and there's an acoustic version of it too, which completely changes it from this crazy, drum and bass monster into this really beautiful, sad acoustic song. And he was all about the songs too. So
yeah,
good.
And I think I remember, speaking of the Earthling album, didn't I know that the track "I'm Afraid of Americans" is on there. Didn't he do a collaboration with 9 Inch Nails on that at one point as well?
Yeah. Trent did a version, like he did a remix of it, and then he's
Right,
also in the
okay.
video for the song too.
Yeah.
And then they also did a tour together, which was for the album Outside, where 9 Inch Nails would do their opening set. And then slowly throughout the set, like members of David Bowie's band would come in and they'd collaborate on 9 Inch Nails songs, and they'd start playing Bowie songs together.
Oh,
And then
wow.
9 Inch Nails would leave, and then it was just David Bowie. So
I didn't see that. That sounds
sets are
awesome.
amazing.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
You can
That
see the
sounds
live
awesome.
versions on YouTube of Hurt with Bowie singing, which is really cool.
Yeah. Well, and
Cool.
even, I mean, I'll even go so far as to say the band that Trent Reznor put together for the live 9 Inch Nails stuff, you know, Charlie Clouser and Chris Vrenna. I mean, those are all guys that are still in demand guys in the music industry for whether it be for soundtrack work or what have you. I mean, just you know, he's definitely another one that kind of picked up on the importance of, you know, surrounding yourselves with really good musicians. And obviously we've heard the stories that Trent is a bit of a, you know, he's a bit of a control freak when he writes, but when he performs, I mean, wow, you know, so much energy. Yeah.
Incredible live band. And again, he's someone who he surrounds himself with amazing people, and he does what he wants to do. And he's
Right.
someone who, you know, I loved, you know, Pretty Hate Machine. And then once things started moving into a little heavier stuff at the time, I was completely turned off because I was into different stuff. And
Yeah.
the idea of all these macho guys moshing and listening to that stuff really turned me off for the longest time. You know, it was about the past 5 years or so that I really started to re-listen to a lot of that stuff. And I've been 9 Inch Nails obsessed over the past several years. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm a big fan.
Nice.
Awesome.
Right on. Any other questions for Brian or for Adam? Omar, go ahead.
All right, guys. So when's the tour?
I thought that was on you. Oh, I thought you were booking this.
Hey, I know that, but I'm just waiting to hear from you guys. You know, I think that you guys have a very good opportunity to, I don't know if you guys are interested or anything like that, but I'm having a meeting with some of the Analog Trash guys in the next coming weeks. And something that we're talking about is trying to gather the resources in order to bring some of the US bands to the UK and do a tour there. So, but that won't be until like 2022. We're thinking probably around this time next year. So, I mean, if that's something that you might want to be interested in jumping on board with, you know, we can talk about that, you know, off on the side, you know. But as far as, you know, West Coast or anything like that, you know, you let me know and I'll get that going. So yeah,
that would be awesome. Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
you know, we'll chat.
Yeah, you have to.
I'll have my people call your people, possibly.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But you guys are like busting out so many tunes so fast that, you know, I mean, you're making me look bad right now.
And look at the bright side, guys. If you guys fly over to England, the cardboard cutout of Darren would be it'd be a, you know, you could put that under the seat or over in the overhead bin. So
that's right. He's easy.
You guys would do fantastic in the UK, and I think it would be amazing to be able to, you know, see that journey with you guys. So if that's something that you guys, like I said, if that's something that you guys are interested in doing, I'll be going there myself next year and doing the tour there. So yeah, you just let me know, you know, I can get it going.
Well, if you guys go to UK for a tour, I'll be your main roadie. Okay, how does that sound? I'm great at packing synths and travel cases.
I've got a lot of gear. I have a lot of things on my rider that I'm going to need fulfilled first. So if you could handle that.
Red jelly beans only, and I get it. Special cognac. Okay.
No, just peanut butter M&Ms.
Only
Adam and
fresh
Adam
white
and Brian,
T-shirts. Always available.
I just got a text from Mars here. It said his computer froze on him, so he apologizes for dropping off. and now his computer's doing some kind of update. So he apologizes for not
Aw.
being able to stick around.
Thanks,
Thank you,
man.
man.
Right on.
But Omar, yeah, thank you.
No problem. My pleasure.
Cool.
Anything I can do to help you guys or any band in that respect, it's something that I am very passionate about, and it's something I've been doing for a long time. So you guys let me know when you're ready, and I'll be here.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
For sure. For sure.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Jim, I heard Nature Wires mentioned a couple times tonight. Have you ever thought of trying to get Gary Watts on your show?
I have not. He's
awesome.
Yeah. No, hasn't crossed my mind yet.
Okay.
But certainly if he's willing to. He doesn't listen to the show. I know that much. I play his songs from time to time, but I don't know if he's necessarily a fan of the show. I know he's a fan of all the bands that I play, but I think the main reason he doesn't listen to my show is just because he's in the UK and
time difference.
My show comes on at 10 p.m. UK time, and he just doesn't get a chance to tune in, and so but certainly I'm not opposed to it, not in the slightest.
I can even mention it to him too, since we're label mates.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Any other questions for Adam or for Brian B? Anyone? All right. Well, just to wrap things up here, don't forget to coming up next Saturday. Next Saturday will be the 24th of April. We have our next Zoom Spotlight series. Special guest will be Moore, all the way over in Stockholm, Sweden. Lino, Matthias, and Magnus will be joining us. That'll be taking place on Saturday afternoon for those of you that are here in North America. And also on Sunday, the following day on the 25th, don't forget we are doing our special roundtable discussion to celebrate the anniversary of Chorus by Erasure and Speak and Spell by Depeche Mode. We're doing the 30th anniversary of Chorus and the 40th anniversary of Speak and Spell. So be ready to talk about those. And then coming up on Saturday, May 1st, we're going to have a Zoom Spotlight series event with DJ Oren Amram, my boss at Radio Plus. He'll be coming in and talking about his journey with setting up Radio Plus and all of the amazing work he does to promote so many artists all over the world. And then on, I keep saying February. We're not in February, are we? May 15th is when we're going to do the OMD Sugar Tax special. We'll be talking about that, and we'll have several people that are in the OMD realm. And I'm going to be asking Stuart Kershaw of OMD, who co-wrote most of the songs, and many of the songs at least, on the Sugar Tax album, to join us for that. And then we've got also coming up on the 22nd of May, George Pappas of Alien Skin, former keyboard player of Real Life, will be doing the Zoom Spotlight. And then on Sunday, May 23rd, we will have Michael Oakley, Mr. Synthwave himself, will be joining us for a special Zoom Spotlight series appearance for that as well. So all kinds of cool stuff. And I'm now currently looking at booking Zoom Spotlights for June and into July, as the time progresses right there. And then that's the main thing I've got. Of course, the show coming up every Sunday, The Soul of Synth-Pop, airs at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Central. And if you're on the East Coast of North America, it launches at 5 p.m. every Sunday on Radio Plus Israel. And got some great stuff coming up next weekend as well. Lots of great new music. So make sure you tune in for that. And that covers the bulk of what I have. So again, a very special thank you to Brian Belknap and Adam Collier of BlakLight, who were so gracious to join us today. And just a great interview, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Again, love your music. Love everything that you bring to the international indie music community. Your music is fantastic. Thank you for making all of us look super lazy with how prolific you guys are. And we definitely will have to work on that meetup. Steve, just so you guys know, Steve Liss and I had a fantastic phone call last night, and we're starting to plan the next Soul of Synth-Pop meetup. And looks like we're going to shoot to try to have that in LA, probably in October when the New Order and Pet Shop Boys concert takes place. And looks like we got a pretty good crew that are going to be coming out for that. So we'll see if we can bring that to fruition. And then also we're still going to see what we can do about organizing yet another one. If for some reason the New Order and Pet Shop Boys thing falls through, we're still looking at possibly arranging something here, possibly in Utah, just because of the connections I have with the club owners here. We could throw together a 2-day event where we could have people come out here and perform. It'd be kind of like what we discussed. If you guys would be willing to come out like on your own dime, and then we just, we all perform and just hang out with each other for 2 days, just enjoy one another's company, keep 100% of whatever merchandise your band sells, and just all that kind of thing. So that's another thing that is on the back burner on the off chance that the New Order Pet Shop Boys thing falls through. But lots of exciting things coming up, and yeah, just all kinds of cool stuff. Thank you everybody for joining me today, and everybody that has been following the channel on YouTube. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell there so that you get notifications. And with that, we're all set to go. Anybody have anything else they'd like to say in parting? Kind words?
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks everyone for being here. Really
We love you,
appreciate it.
BlakLight. We love you.
We love you too, Darwin.
And
I wanna
Darren,
hug
Thanks,
you right
guys.
Darren, are you wearing that New Order t-shirt?
Yes.
Yes, I am actually.
Oh, that's the Featherlight t-shirt, right?
It's the inspiration for Featherlight. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was Featherlight.
No. I don't have shirts for that. No, this is the New Order True Faith album, or single cover, which was the inspiration for the Featherlight cover. So
Right on.
no beating around the bush on that.
Love that shirt. I don't know if all of you saw. I've got the kind of the, I guess it's a rare shirt. It's the OMD red frame white light, limited edition shirt that they had earlier this year. So gotta show my love to OMD.
I'm going to say good night, everybody.
All
night,
right,
Matt.
Matt.
Good
Thank
night,
you so
Matt.
much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good seeing you, Matt.
And with that,
Good night, Matt.
the rest of you, have a wonderful evening, and thank you again for joining me. And we will see you hopefully next Saturday for the Zoom Spotlight series for more. Yeah.
Great. Night. Bye.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
man.
Good to see you guys.
Have a good night.
Have a good
Bye,
night,
guys.
Night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.